the worry that this president may be financially beholden to an individual, to an institution, to a country.
I know, and most people know damn well, that you, Rachel, would not have questioned Hillary's ties if she had been president. Now, this isn't to say that we shouldn't question these things about Trump, but we know you wouldn't have done the same thing if it would have been Hillary.
And now that he's president, we won't know if he tries to use the resources and power of our country to pay off that entity to whom he is beholden. That's why there will continue to be unrelenting pressure to find Donald Trump's tax returns. And that's why somebody has decided to leak a portion of his 2005 tax return, which is how and why we got it tonight. And I am sure it is only the start, but it's a start. And our little piece of it, we just got it. We'll go through it next.
Boy, do we have an amazing piece of information for you. Let's keep you at the edge of your seat. Find out after the break.
On the Gulf Coast, new ExxonMobil projects are expected to create over 45,000 jobs. And each job created by the energy industry supports 2 others in the community. Altogether, the industry supports over 9 million jobs nationwide. These are jobs that natural gas is helping make happen, all while reducing America's emissions. Energy lives here.
What I have here is a copy of Donald Trump's tax returns. We have his federal tax return for 1 year for 2005. I believe this is the only set of the president's federal taxes that reporters have ever gotten a hold of. What we have are these 2 pages, front and back. And in terms of what's on here, let me give you the basics. Aside from the numbers being large, these pages are straightforward. He paid $38 million, looks like $38 million in taxes. He took a big write-down of $103 million, more on that later. If you add up the lines for income, he made more than $150 million in that year. We got these pages. We got this document today from a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist who's better on financial matters than almost anybody else in the business. His name is David K. Johnston. These pages turned up the other day in his mailbox. David will join us live here in just a moment. When we showed this 2005 return to the White House to ask him if it's real, we sent this over to the White House tonight, and the White House responded basically with, yep.
I think it was leaked on purpose by the Trump administration, and you're just running with it like a good little corporation. I think the Trump administration now wants to just play with the media, and this works for Trump. This works in favor of Trump. This story is in favor of Trump.
But good on the White House for acknowledging the return as proof of what the president made and paid that year. Here's the thing, though. A full tax return for someone like Donald Trump would be a lot longer than the 2 pages that we have here.
It would also be nice if it wasn't from 2005.
Why not let the public see the information for themselves? We have obtained this.
Yes, which I have a feeling was released on purpose. A very specific year that would make him look good. But since he is being audited, he couldn't officially release it, so he did this.
But this is all we've got. This tells us something. But he still has disclosed, certainly willingly disclosed, nothing. First of all, congratulations on this scoop. What can you tell us about how you got these pages, how you got this document?
Came in the mail over the transom, and there is absolutely nothing improper about journalists, if you haven't solicited something, getting it over the transom. And by the way, let me point out, it's entirely possible that Donald sent this to me. Donald Trump has, over the years, leaked all sorts of things.
Those numbers seem right to you?
Yes. $36.5 million. He paid 24%. You know who pays 24% in this country? Married couples with 2 incomes, like my wife and I, who make about $400,000 a year. Donald Trump and his wife that year made $418,000 a day. And the point of this is, the top in this country, people at the top, are not burdened the way we suggest. People are supposed to be paying 35% that year, 39.6% this year. But if you're in the alternative minimum tax, you only pay 28%.
Okay.
That's a 20% discount on your taxes. Would you like to get a 20% discount on your taxes? That's what Donald Trump got here.
Well, we may not like it very much, but he's fully in his right to do that.
And Donald Trump really is desperate that we don't see where his money comes from. And this is a man who we know was very deeply involved with one of the biggest drug kingpins in America in the 1980s. He risked his casino license just to show his loyalty to that man. He did business with the biggest mobsters in New York. For years, he traveled with the son of the head of the reputed Russian mob boss, himself a twice convicted felon. He says, I wouldn't know if he was in the room, even though they were together all the time, traveling. And many other criminals he has associated with throughout his life. So it's particularly relevant for us to say, where'd you get the money?
David Cay Johnston is the editor and founder of DCReport.org. He is the one who obtained this Donald Trump tax return 2005. David, can you stay with us for a moment?
Sure.
I want to get back to this issue about the sources of Trump's money and also the source of this document tonight. We have published this 2005 tax return from the president on maddoblog.com. We've also linked to David Cay Johnston's extensive reporting on this on DCReport.org. David's back with us in a moment. Stay with us.
The most common side effect is a temporary burning sensation.
Call your eye doctor to get screened and ask about Restasis.
Hey, need fast heartburn relief? No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Try Lipoflavonoid, #1 ENT recommended for ringing in the ears.
What is the key?
It's you.
Everything in one place so you can travel the world better.
I'm an environmentalist, like nuclear. It's the environmentally responsible thing to do.
What's your heritage?
Bottom line, though, tonight, we've got them. At least we've got 2 pages of them from an anonymous source through David Cay Johnston of DCReport.org.
And what good did it do? It certainly didn't help your narrative, but you're going to continue to have your narrative. Now, I'm not a pro-Trump person, and I hope that we can find some shitty things about Trump. But this wasn't anything. This was nothing.
What would we hope to get in the mail if we were going to get to the real meat of Donald Trump's potential foreign financial ties?
Well, you want to see the sources of income, which will be shown in his business returns. He has over 500 business entities. You want to know who the partners are in those entities and what they show about the income. You also, by the way, want to show the interest he's paying and the fees he's paying to other people to know who he's paying.
Chris Hayes, looking at this and just considering the scope of this, what's your reaction?
It's possible disclosure could benefit them.
When Hillary Clinton said, you know, you're not paying taxes, he said, because I'm smart. So which is it? You really did pay a lot of taxes and you're tricking us, or you're not paying taxes?
Well, now we know he did pay over 20% taxes here.
That's right.
In 2005.
We have posted Donald Trump's 2005 federal tax return. David Cay Johnston at DCReport.org is the man who obtained this. Stay with us.
Do not take Trulicity if you've had multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if you are allergic to Trulicity. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as itching, rash, or trouble breathing, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe pain in your stomach area. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis, which can be fatal. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
So we have obtained Donald Trump's tax returns tonight. His 1040 from the year 2005, the first time his federal tax returns have been made public, have been obtained by any news organization since he is a presidential candidate, let alone since he was president. They were obtained by investigative reporter David Cay Johnston and his reporting shop, DCReport.org. We'll be right back.
Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen, filgrastim. Ruptured spleens, sometimes fatal, as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred.
Talk to your doctor about Neulasta Onpro.
Break through your allergies. New Flonase Sensimist.
Again tonight, we are breaking news. We have published Donald Trump's tax returns from 2005. It's 2 pages, his 1040 form. But tonight, thanks to investigative journalist David K. Johnston, the world is getting its first look at a federal tax return from Donald Trump. Again, this is his 2-page form 1040 from the year 2005. Incidentally, just as a matter of trivia, this is the year that he got married. If somebody was able to release this report, this 1040 report, and get it into reporters' hands, I think it is reasonable to expect that there's more out there and that we will see more of this come out.
I'm sure you will. And you'll just take any little tiny clipping of anything that you can get and go, breaking news! Just like, oh, someone who we don't really know anything about on Twitter said something. Look, breaking news!
There's still a long list of questions that could be answered by the president if he wanted to release more, or if anybody else does what this source did tonight to get this into our hands. Now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Rachel, normally at 9 p.m., I have some stuff to do to prepare for a 10 p.m. live TV show. All that stuff I made sure was done at 8:59 p.m. I got to watch every minute tonight. This has been riveting television. This has been an amazing revelation.
Well, that's some riveting television. That's butt-flying spanking new, right?
We're going to continue our breaking news coverage of the tax documents that recently arrived in David K. Johnston's mailbox. That's how we know this. That's how David K. Johnston got it. This information reveals the president's basic tax information, the summary information of his 2005 return. This is not breaking news. 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 This is not breaking news.
The more that time goes on, the more that it seems like our government and our media is a giant reality TV show. A scripted one.